And we earlier also spoke to former envoy to Afghanistan, Ambassador Amar Sinha, for his assessment of the present situation in Afghanistan.
Of refuge, I think our policies are fairly well known. There would be a certain amount of people who would come and take refuge, but they normally come and get registered with International Organization of IOM, migrations. But we hope that it doesn't come to that pass and Afghans are allowed to live peacefully in their own country, because any refugee status, yesterday, for example, we commemorated the horrors of partition of 1947. Imagine Afghans in one generation, this is the third time this is happening to them. So you can imagine it's a huge humanitarian disaster. One would look at it from the people's perspective. The people in Afghanistan have got used to a certain amount of liberties, access to education, ability to work, etc. That, I think, is being denied already. They have just now also said that there will be no restrictions on women stepping out of their homes alone. But these are something which are saying today. Once they have a monopoly and control of government, these things may change. So we will have to take it with a pinch of salt, and we just hope that they have learned from their own past mistakes, and going forward, if they really have to work and run a modern government and provide some governance, they would ease up on some of those controls.
And we were earlier also joined by our correspondent Mariam Wardak, who shared her thoughts on what could possibly lie ahead for the women of Afghanistan.
Well, there has been a major change in regards to how the Taliban have decided to communicate with the public. If that is to have recognition with the international community is one thing, but yes, there have been reports that women have been let go from bank jobs in certain provinces, and women have been asked to go back to home versus from universities. So it's too soon, I think, for us to tell exactly, but yes, the fear and the uncertainty for the future is very strongly present right now in Afghanistan. However, you have to look at it in a holistic context. When you're looking at urban areas, the sheikh is very strong and prominent there. When you look at the rural areas, especially in areas where young girls did not have as much accessibility to education or to economic opportunities, there hasn't been much of a change. There is a strong sense of worry amongst the women, and especially now that the president has evacuated from Afghanistan with his core team, who will take the discussion forward in regards to how the women's structure will be in society. This is quite concerning for all of them. Again, we have to look at the whole culture. Afghanistan is a very tribal and conservative society. There have been many incidents within the past 20 years where they have oppressed and harmed women, even under the democratic government. For instance, there was the public killing of Farkhunda that was 1.5 miles outside of the presidential palace. How can this change, and what will happen for the future, and to make sure that there is a proper future for Afghan women? Because we have to look at it as the aspect that this is not as much as a patriarchal society anymore. There are matriarchs now due to what has happened in the past 60 years and how many men that have been gone from the families. There needs to be a strong theological conversation, argument to be held with the Taliban by the village elders, by Islamic scholars, and more so by female Islamic scholars. A call for all female Islamic scholars around the world is very necessary to come and stand with the Afghan women, to put pressure on the Afghan Taliban to allow them to have a standing place in society. And that standing place is access to education, because within access to opportunities within our religion, within the Islamic religion, there is a lot of opportunities for women. However, religion and culture have this war and battle within Afghanistan. Even when you can excel within religion, the culture works against you.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.